Hey, Heart fans, so glad you are here. It means the world to me you guys have tuned in. Thanks so much. Don't forget to subscribe to this amazing channel because you know what? It's an amazing thing to do because when you do that, you become super powerful. No, I'm sorry, that's a promise I can't keep. All right, Danny Fenton. Danny Fenton, we do a lot of Danny Fenton videos here on the channel, and why is that? I love Danny Fenton. It was a show I created back in the year 2000, and I think I created it in 2001, but it didn't even start airing until 2004. So I worked on it for about 3 years before it even got onto television, and it was such a great show to develop. So now I'm working on the fast-paced, rapid-fire world of Fairly Odd Parents. Now I've got to work on a whole different show, Danny Fenton. And Danny Fenton ends in 2007. The show wasn't getting picked up, they were done. And networks do this sometimes. They certainly don't want to do every single show by one creator. I learned that. I thought, hey, why don't you guys do all of my shows? Would have been fun though, huh? Imagine, wouldn't that be cool? All Butch Hartman shows. Anyway, it's a dream. We're dreaming. So anyway, Danny Fenton stopped, in my opinion, too early. So when I got to do more Danny Fenton ideas here on the YouTube channel, I just couldn't believe how awesome that was. I got to do Danny Fenton 10 years later. What would the characters look like 10 years later? But I was thinking, what if we did a video where it wasn't Danny Fenton 10 years later? He's 24. What if we did a Danny Fenton video where he's just out of high school and he's in college? Danny Fenton, the college years. What would that be like? What would happen to Danny Fenton, Sam Manson, and Tucker Foley if we caught them in college? What would that be like? What type of a show would that be? I mean, let's just picture that for a second. Danny Fenton is now, let's say, 18, 19 years old. And how's he dressing now? I think we still have to dress him in the classic Danny Fenton t-shirt, but maybe there's a hoodie over it. Maybe there's some type of other stuff he wears to, obviously, to make him more hip and more trendy for the time. But what is Danny all about? Because this would take place after Phantom Planet. Phantom Planet is where Danny saved the world from a disasteroid. He turned the world intangible with the help of every ghost in the ghost zone. Earth became intangible, the asteroid passed through it, and Danny is now revered throughout the planet Earth. He's like the world's ultimate star, ultimate superhero. If he's going to continue to walk in that storyline, what would Danny's life be like? I mean, he's got to go to college, right? He's got to continue learning, and so do Sam and Tucker. But what is that going to be like? Now, Tucker's the mayor of Amity Park now. So Tucker's now the 18, he's been mayor probably for 4 or 5 years now. Maybe he keeps getting reelected because he's popular and he's funny. And I think with Tucker's technology, I think Tucker has technified, opportunity for techness. I think technified Amity Park like crazy. I think there's just electronic billboards everywhere. I think there are parking meters. You can just press your thumb to them and pay for your parking. I think there's retina scans everywhere. I think Tucker's just tried to make life so much easier for Amity Parkians. And maybe Tucker has become a world-renowned leader of how to run a city. That might be kind of cool. And he still wants to go to college. And so I think Tucker would probably be a teacher at the college at this young age. I think he's probably the youngest teacher. I think the school they would go to is probably, I was going to call it Amity University because it's in Amity Park, but I have a feeling since Danny's now a world hero, I think they're probably going to call it Fenton University. I think they name it after him. But I think Tucker is probably the greatest mayor that's ever lived, at least as far as advancing his city. I just think Tucker wouldn't have time to teach at a college at this point. He's still young, he's still the mayor. People are loving what he does, and I just think he's actually going on lecture tours to other mayors, to other cities, to show them how to advance as well. I think that technology can even be turned against him in a huge way. Maybe Techness at one point could turn the entire city of Amity Park against Danny. Danny can't really go anywhere on his own because he's always got people following him. I think people trying to get his picture. But I think people are used to it. No matter where Danny goes, if he's in a coffee shop, I can see a shot where they're sitting in a coffee shop and the camera's looking at them, but you see out the window all these people pressed against the glass trying to see Danny. I think Danny's life has become really, really just not a life of his own. He's like a rock star now, and he doesn't have any privacy. And Sam, I think, is stuck by him. Number one, I think she loves him and he loves her. So they stick together everywhere, but they're trying to find ways to be alone. And I think they're also trying to find ways to still accomplish the mission, which is, even though all the ghosts have teamed up with Danny and saved the Earth, I still think when the ghosts went back into the ghost zone, they still love the game of fighting Danny. I think there's some other ghosts we haven't even met yet that think it was a mistake to save the Earth, and they want to destroy Danny even more than ever now. You know, being a college student, Danny would have to still do his homework. He'd still have, and he wants to be treated just like anybody else. I think Danny, D-A-N-I, Danielle Fenton, she probably goes to college now too. She's probably a year behind Danny or 2 years behind Danny. I think she's more of a wild card though. I think she's more of a street kid and she's used to being on the streets, and I think she doesn't have the sympathetic side that Danny does. I almost think Danny would be like Dr. Manhattan in The Watchmen in a way. Not where he's so aloof and just removed from humanity, but he really can't relate to people the same way anymore. As I'm sitting here talking about this, I think it'd be kind of cool where the whole arc of the story would be Danny trying to maintain his humanity, because his human side wants to be with people, but the people are so swarming him he can't relate to them anymore. He wants to be away from them. So maybe his ghost side starts taking over and wants to be more alone. Whereas in The Watchmen, Dr. Manhattan went to Mars to be alone. Maybe Danny goes somewhere. Maybe Danny moves into the ghost zone for a while. I can see Danny having a loft apartment in the ghost zone, and him and Sam go hang out there just to get away from everybody. That's the one place people can't follow them. But what about Jazz Fenton, Danny's sister? What would she be doing at this point? I mean, Danny's world famous. He's got to be watched and protected. Two theories. One, Jazz could be a professor at Fenton University as well. But one fan theory, and I like this theory, suggests that maybe Jazz marries Dash Baxter? I don't know. Maybe. I think, though, Jazz becomes Danny's handler. I think Jazz is constantly moving Danny from place to place. She's his protector. She's his PR person. She is his ultimate Danny Phantom social media director, everything. Again, these are things I think about as I'm sitting here behind this desk, because I never leave this desk. I'm actually fused to the desk. I'm half man, half desk. All Butch Hartman. All right, we have to introduce new characters too. We'd have to have new students in school with secrets. We'd have to have new teachers with secrets. And since he's known worldwide, I think he's always being challenged. I think Danny's always being challenged to see how good he is. So I think he's constantly having to fight. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Danny Phantom, the college years. What'd you guys think? Leave a comment down in the comment section below. And what other aspects of this story should I include? Should we expand upon it even more? Let me know what you guys think. All right, guys, I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks so much. Hit that subscribe button. And don't forget, as always, art gives you power. Use it wisely. Hey, Heart fans, subscribe here to keep up with me, Danny, Timmy, Dudley, Bunsen, and the NOOG Network, my new app full of cartoons, shows, and games. Download it here. Click over here to watch my most recent video, and here to start a playlist related to this video. Whoa, check out that awesome fan art. To be featured here, use hashtag HeartFanArt and tag me. I'm on every social media platform known to man. Cartoon Butch out. Pencil drop.